Because the number one tip that helped me ultimately curb my anxiety and get me off of benzos for life now, I've been off benzos for 10 years, is high intensity interval training. It's called HIIT training. The one that I like to do best would be sprints or runs. You could do any of this in any form of exercise. You could do this through running, on a bike, on a step mill. You could do this through deadlifts or squats or certain weightlifting exercises. I implement it in all types of my exercises throughout the day. When I had got out of jail, I had been off my medications for around 9 months. This last time I was locked up for 9 months. And I knew I didn't want to go back on my medications. I didn't want to do drugs. I had been losing weight while I was in jail. My anxiety was still super high. And it got even higher when I got out of jail. And I was homeless and I didn't know what I was going to do, where to get a job, how was I going to get there. I had so much going on that my anxiety was so high. And I didn't have access to a gym. I didn't have access to a lot of things, but all I knew was that I had to get my heart rate up. So when I was starting to have an anxiety attack and my anxiety was high, I would literally just lace up my shoes and I would go outside and I would take off running as hard as I possibly could for as long as I could. And that wasn't very long because I was still completely out of shape. I couldn't run. I was still like 260 pounds, which is way overweight for me. When I got locked up, I was around 290 pounds. And my normal weight is under 200. So I was completely overweight. So I couldn't run very long. So that's not the point here. It doesn't matter if you can run a mile. It doesn't matter. It's exerting yourself for a short period of time and then resting and then exerting yourself again. So what I would do is I would take off running, sprinting as far and as fast as I could. And when I couldn't anymore, I would stop and I would try to catch my breath. And then when I was calm, about a minute later, I would take off running again. And at the time, I had no idea this was HIIT training. I had no idea it was helping, it was going to ultimately help me cure, not cure my anxiety because this is something that I'll have for life, but curb it. I had no idea. All I knew is that when I was running fast and I was exerting my energy as hard as I could, that my anxiety went away. And it went away for hours afterwards. And I did it 4 or 5 times a day when I first got out of jail for like the first couple months, where I would just take off running. And now I like to implement that throughout the day in all types of forms. And you can do HIIT training in all types of intervals for where you are, physically. Some people are out of shape. Some people are in shape. Some people have done HIIT cardio before. Some people have never heard of it. You do it in intervals. So if you're out of shape and you just want to start out, if you have access, you don't have to have access to a treadmill, but if you do, or like a stationary bike or an elliptical or a step mill, start out by doing just 10 seconds. And for that 10 seconds, you're going to give as much as you possibly can. You're going to exert as much energy as you possibly can for 10 seconds. Then you'll stop. And then take a break for 50 seconds. So that would be one set. So for 10 seconds, you're going as hard as you can. And then 50 seconds, you're resting. And then when that 50 seconds is done, you'll do another set. You do that for about 5 sets if you're just starting, or as many as you can. I was getting results off of just one, where I would just go sprint down the block and then I'd sprint back. It would literally take me, 2-3 minutes and curb my anxiety for hours afterwards. As you get more conditioned, you can up that time to where you go to 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off. Then you go to 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And you could do that for like 10 minutes. And this is going to help you burn more calories throughout the day. HIIT cardio has been known to boost your metabolism for up for 24 hours afterwards. So you're going to get benefits for losing weight also. And for me, if I do my HIIT cardio right when I wake up in the morning, my anxiety is subsided by a huge amount throughout the day. I'll go do a lift later out in the day that'll help me calm my anxiety also. But just that 10 minutes that I do in the morning of my HIIT cardio can relieve my anxiety for the majority of the whole day. Guys, just go try it. Don't overthink it. You don't need a bike. You don't need, all you need is you. You don't even need shoes. Just go outside and try to exert yourself as hard as you can for a short period of time and see if it curbs your anxiety at all.